See, when Panchayati Raj institutions were created, so the question is that what functions they should perform. Okay. It's functions. So what functions they should perform? That should be defined. It was expected that as per schedule 11 there are 29 subjects. So when 29 subjects are given to them, so that is how that will determine their function, role and functions. So role and functions are as per schedule 11. But as we have told that functional devolution, it was left to state to devolve functions. If you take schedule 7, so there are three lists, and then state and union, they derive their power directly from constitution. But in case of local bodies, they don't derive powers directly from constitution. Rather, they derive powers from schedule 11. And schedule 11, they will derive powers only when state government devolves that subject to local body. And it has been found that the subjects have not been devolved. As we told, ARC second, Punchi Commission, other review, there are so many, let's say, review committee, commissions, reports if you see. So Panchayati Raj institutions, local bodies have been reviewed by ARC second, Punchi Commission. Then devolution index, prepared by, nowadays it is TIS. Plus government has, you should also know that we have set up Ministry of Panchayati Raj institutions. And since 2004, it also gives annual report. Plus there is one foundation called ORF Foundation. It is a research foundation, independent research foundation. So there can be so many institutions, committee, commissions which review working of Panchayati Raj institutions. If you see that, so they will say that as for recent report, means very recent report or recent publication by ORF that has given, or even ARC second told, means in its report finds that Punjab has just developed 6 subjects. So Panchayati Raj institutions can perform only 6 subjects. Recently, Kerala has developed 26 subjects. So as far as devolution of functions are concerned, as we told that day that most of the states will be below 20 or around 20. They have not devolved that subject. It means that Panchayati Raj institutions' role and functions are still not very clearly defined, or they are not empowered what to perform. Once, let's say, a subject is devolved, then there is a 3-tier structure. A Panchayati Raj institution, so it has 3-tier structure: Jila Parishad, Panchayat Samiti, and Gram Panchayat. 3-tier structure. Now, how that 3-tier structure will be, means how different institutions would be exercising power related to a subject. So further you have to define. Suppose education is the subject or schooling is the subject given to PRIs. Now in schooling, what should be the role of Jila Parishad? What should be the role of Panchayat Samiti? What should be the role of Gram Panchayat? That should be further defined, and it is called activity mapping. It is called activity mapping, and ARC second recommends that given activity mapping has not been only let's say that over 4-5 states have done activity mapping. Most of the states have not done activity mapping. So in a way, role and functions of PRIs remain not properly defined. This simply means instead of writing such details, some facts you have to know, but yes, all facts are not needed. Simply let's keep as per the recommendation of ARC second or ORF, it is found that functions have not been devolved, 29 subjects. At the same time, those functional devolution in 3-tier structure has not been done, like say activity mapping. This. Then after function, it comes about functionaries. Functionaries are related to personnel. Means those who hold positions. So functionaries we can categorize into two. If you talk functionaries. So functionaries we can have political, elected and non-elected. They are permanent staff. So elected and non-elected. Now when functions are not properly defined, so can we say that they would have functionaries? Right. The first thing is that when functions are not properly defined, so functionaries, let's say that first, lack of adequate functionaries. So lack of adequate functionaries. Then let's say their level of knowledge, awareness and skill especially for permanent functionaries. Means simple way, let's say that we can say that they lack trained and skilled functionaries. Lack of trained and skilled functionaries. Right. Direct like say कि for Pradhan there is Panchayat Secretary. Right. For Pradhan there should be a Panchayat Secretary. But it is not only at one level. We have 3-tier structure. So when we have 3-tier structure, do we have functionaries at 3-tier level? Again, the question comes like Jila Parishad, Panchayat Samiti, Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Secretary. But Jila Parishad, you know, it is headed by CEO, who is, let's say that, IAS. But what about other functionaries, staff? There is staff. So the way you have problems related to any other public organizations, we have told related to judiciary, related to high court, district court, related to ADR, other things. Similarly, they will have also problems of vacancies. Since recruitments happen at the state level, state governments are not so regular in their recruitment and staffing that we can say, yes, there is a very good staffing system. And even the house, if you know, if you belong to any district, so try to know about any Jila Parishad office, where is Jila Parishad office, go there, see that how Jila Parishad office is functional, right? On which we have so much of glorification that we should devolve powers and empower, bring change, all sort of things. Right. So Jila Parishad office is not still a office which properly functions like a bank. Right. If anything that functions very properly at even countryside level, it is called bank. Bank has a professional working. Right. Even if it is set up in a rural area in a village, but they will have professional working. They will come on time, work, office is open at 10 o'clock, all staff present at 10 o'clock, right? So that is one, let's say, even if it is at countryside level, but their working style is very professional. But if you take other such offices, etc., so still you will find that they are not that professional, plus lack of staff, etc. So that is the problem of functionaries. In fact, functionaries are nothing but, once I told that, they are chamche log, chamcha of, let's say that, those who are the panchayat members and Jila Panchayat, you can see in Panchayat web series. So how, let's say that, although Panchayat secretary is an educated person, there is a mismatch. But you will find that other members are, you know, how they decide. And how they decide the hand pipe, let's say, they have to, there were 8 hand pipes or 7 hand pipes, so some solar light, right? So solar light, how it is decided at that level. So they decide that it should be at their house. That is what we'll find that. So some replications or some replica, if you have no rural area experience, so you can see that how it functions, and that is how you'll find that functionary is not so trained, this problem. And then the next problem is finance. Right, finance. So basically they can have, let's say that, tax and non-tax. Right. So non-tax is, let's say that, local assets. The local level of assets means assets created. So from there it can be pond, it can be fisheries, it can be fair, etc. Right. Collecting some fees like this. Tax can be, as we told that, local development tax. Local tax. It can be toll tax if they have this, but very less, let's say that, source of revenue. So problems. First, limited sources of revenue. First, second, even that limited, not developed. Develop. Largely they are dependent on union and state transfers. Their own first की limited source है उनके पास revenue generate करने का. इसलिए कि एक विलेज लेवल पे, ग्राम सभा लेवल पे आप कौन सा टैक्स इम्पोज कर सकते हैं, राइट? सो उस विलेज से कोई रोड ऐसा जाता हो काफ़ी कमर्शियल, राइट, तो यू कैन हैव टोल जनरेशन, लेट्स से दैट. इस एरिया में कुछ फिशरीज वगैरह हैं, पोन्ड्स वगैरह होते हैं, तो उस पे से उनको कुछ मिल सकता है revenue. They can earn from that some revenue. Or if they are propagating fisheries and other things in that area. और कुछ इस तरीके का क्रॉपिंग है, लाइक लैंड डेवलपमेंट है, So they can have land development. On the basis of land development, this fair is held, various types of fairs are held, market is held. तो market से उनको मिल सकता है fee. So they can have some fees type, let's say that, कि market sectors like this. So their source of revenue is limited first. But even that source of revenue which is limited, they have not developed it. जैसे होता है कि potential develop करना, so they have not developed that potential. Right. So even they are not generating from the limited sources whatever the revenue they can generate. Right. This, and how that whatever the revenue they generate, they manage it. How they manage it. Right. So it is very, let's say that, कि common sense based, rule of thumb based. और रेवेन्यू आता है गवर्नमेंट के फंड में जाता है कि अपने फंड में जाता है, इट इज़ वेरी डिफ़िकल्ट. मीन्स अगर मार्केट से उन्होंने फ़ी कलेक्ट किया है, जैसे आजकल लोकल मार्केट लगता है, रूरल एरियाज़ में भी थोड़े से काफ़ी चेंजेज आया है. जैसे अर्ली मॉर्निंग देयर इज़ अ वेजिटेबल मार्केट. So at that vegetable market, let's say, so whether you are, collecting the fees from those who come in that market, so if you collect, let's say that you are collecting 5,000, so whether the 5,000 you are mentioning in record, ये सब तो easily manipulable होगा. Right, collection 5,000 क्या है, शो कर रहे हैं 1,000. कौन चेक करने जा रहा है? जो चेक करने जा रहा है उसको भी 1,000 दे दिया. Right. बाकी वेजिटेबल फ्री है, जो लेना है ले लो. This, so that is it's a local culture, isn't it? So it's not कि very people are professional and वो एक culture होता है कि that professionally you are, let's say that thing you feel obliged. So this will find this. So both you have to understand. You don't only criticize कि उनका fund नहीं है. जो fund है, how much they are generating. Village has potential for good fisheries. Fisheries, let's say that they can have because there are ponds, etc. But people do not do because of law and order problem. Because of many things happen. अगर fisheries आप किया, पता चला कि आपको सुबह जब आए देखने तो कोई उसमें fish नहीं है. Right. इसलिए कि रात को अभी तो बिहार में कोई स्टील का जो ब्रिज है वो कितने टन का था, 50 टन का ब्रिज है, वो लोग लेके चले गए, उसको चोरी हो गया. मतलब कैन यू इमेजिन 50 टन स्टील ब्रिज इज स्टोलन. So problem ये नहीं है, it's not problem that कि you do not have, it's about culture, imbibing of culture where you can have this kind of practices gradually. So this is what we need to focus on that. And then again reviews have been done. So ARC second, if you take, the ARC second finds that कि बिहार, Rajasthan, when it gave report, although it is old report, so Bihar, Rajasthan, they had 0% revenue, their own revenue. This, then economic survey 2017 and 16 and 17. So it has given that कि Panchayati Raj PRIs have, right, generate, let's say 5% of their own revenue. 5%. And the highest per capita is generated by Kerala, Maharashtra, this highest per capita. Which is not, let's say, which is around 200 rupee. Means if any state is able to generate more finances, right, so it is Maharashtra and Kerala as per the same economic survey report 2016 and 17. Means let me tell that कि facts to know, there is no one source you can know the facts. There are various sources. If you combine, then you get some comprehensive facts. So some sources focus on something else. Since ARC second is old, but it gave a report, so we teach that one, because very, let's say, rare sources are there which we can quote in terms of updated information. So when they have their own finances, let's say 5%, it means that 95% they are dependent. 95% they are dependent on this source. So then the role of, this is how comes, State Finance Commission, which will deal separately. State Finance Commission and Union Finance Commission means Finance Commission. So that is how Finance Commission can strengthen, means help how states can generate their, how they can develop their funds, limited funds. This State Finance Commission can help any state how it can transfer more funds. This, and supplement is done by Finance Commission. That's why role of Finance Commission has also been asked in strengthening local finances. They have not asked State Finance Commission, rather they asked 13th Finance Commission role in local finance, a surprise question in GS paper in 2013 when syllabus was changed. Anyhow, so when they will not have finances, it is said that when local bodies do not have finances, the finance is the most important thing of any, all, let's say that powers, devolution of powers, financial power is most important, without which they cannot simply function. So let's write this.
So in functionaries, the problem is, in case of staffing, the problem is related to like the staffing is not done regularly, or the non-elected members dominate more than the elected.
Several, means there are several problems. Problems are that first, PRIs do not have dedicated personnel. A system has not evolved that you will come to know that you are the functionary of local government. First, the way we have 3-tier structure, there should be 3-tier personnel, which I can tell when after urban local bodies then. Because a question can be asked on that also, today or tomorrow. When you say 3-tier government, there should be 3-tier personnel system. For first tier we have civil services, all India services. For state you have state services. But for local, do you have local services? Right. Because you are thinking that day I let's say drew that structural aspect. So when you are shifting power from all those functionaries, it can be district administration, health society, education society, when you are shifting powers and role of them to Panchayati Raj institutions, so they should have trained staff. Suppose a PRI is running hospitals, so whether it is capable of running hospital. When PRI is running schools, is it capable of running a school? It should have adequate staff. Like say कि जो ट्रेंड था पंचायत सेक्रेटरी में ही एक उसका असिस्टेंट था जो टाइप करता था, वो नाम का आरओ का क्या चौरी बना दिया उसने. ठीक है. So this is what you'll find. Right? Suppose just take from that web series, let's say. So he is not a trained typist also. Right. Typist आज के डेट में तो you type फटाफट like this ना. This every means any person types through phone like so fast. But you do not have a trained typist. मतलब एक लेटर टाइप करना है तो उसको कई बार एडिट करना पड़ेगा पंचायत सेक्रेटरी को, नहीं तो वो गलत पहुंच जाएगा. वीडियो साहब किया तो वो फेंक देंगे ऐसे उठाकर. Sorry to say that.
They can't type it in local language, so they are using smoothie forms. Like if you type my name Ravi in English, so it will type Gujarati or Hindi in that PC. So they are using this type of technology. Government is providing.
Yes. Yes, that is how, means local language. There are so many number of things. Let's say you have to look फंड्स आर सोर्स टू PRIs, तो कौन मैनेज करेगा? वेदर इट हैज ट्रेंड अकाउंटेंट, राइट? तो अकाउंटेंट लोकल लेवल पे मिलना मुश्किल है, CA तो लोग शहर में ही पढ़ते हैं, अकाउंट्स तो कोई पढ़ता नहीं है, isn't it? So do you have trained accountants? Because local, let's say that accounts should be properly prepared. Accounts preparation का एक अलग तरीका होता है, उसका ऑडिट किया जाता है. It's whole lot of things. Let's say कि it's like simple. Let's say that कि पंचायती राज institution is an institution. The way you have first 2 tier structure, similarly the 3rd tier structure should have the trained personnel, trained staff, be it accountant, be it panchayat secretary, be it typist, or be it other such accountant, other staff, let's say supervisory staff. जो पंचायत समिति में होगा, पंचायत जिला परिषद में होगा, वो तो supervisory staff होगा. They will have to supervise basically. So do they have the trained, let's say, personnel system? That is how, whether there is any recruitment, separate recruitment, or they are shifted to Jila Parishad on deputation. So it is on deputation. Whoever is going to serve to Jila Parishad is on deputation. And then he would be transferred because he has not been recruited especially for that. Like say you are recruited for post office, you are recruited for bank, you are recruited as a teacher. Are you recruited as employee of local bodies? So you are not recruited as employee of local body. This, yes, like say panchayat secretary. The panchayat secretary is recruited as employee of local body. So similarly, other staff should also be recruited. So some states do have the separate recruitment. Some states have common, let's say that system that they will utilize their existing resource, existing employees in other sectors, and they would be posted in that.
So where are these people deputed from?
They would be deputed from different services. Different services. Jellaway IAS is deputed. CEO, yes. The IAS will work as a CEO. Right? Let's focus separately. I can take, so I can talk. जैसे कि CEO आता है, तो CEO का कोई रूरल डेवलपमेंट एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, और आपने उसका सीधा जिला परिषद का CEO बना दिया. राइट, आप सब जो आपको बना दिया जिला परिषद का CEO, जिसका कि जिले के बारे में कुछ पता नहीं है. मतलब रूरल डेवलपमेंट, इट इज़ अबाउट डेवलपमेंट एक्टिविटीज. लेट्स से कि अभिलाष इज पंचायत सेक्रेटरी नाउ, इट इज यस CEO ऑफ जिला परिषद. तन्वी हुडा इज ऑल्सो CEO. मैं बोलता हूँ यार कब तक तुम लोग CEO रहोगे. राइट, मध्य प्रदेश में सबसे ज़्यादा DM से ज़्यादा CEO बनाते हैं. राइट, फर्स्ट डे एब्जॉर्ब योर एनर्जी सो डैट यू बिकम एग्जॉस्टेड. Then they make you district magistrate so that you don't do anything. 2013 में तन्वी हुडा 34th rank she brought, so she became 2013 batch ना. She is still CEO जिला परिषद in मध्य प्रदेश. तो 5 years, let's say they have, they keep you as जिला परिषद CEO. That's huge. Right, before that you will serve as SDM, you can serve as this and that charge, right? Then you can come to this. Then there is a chance to become district magistrate. Right. So very कुछ लोग हैं जैसे उत्तर प्रदेश में है, तो महेंद्र सिंह तंवर उसके 1 साल बाद का है, बट ही इज ए म्युनिसिपल कमिश्नर इन गाजियाबाद. निपुण अग्रवाल उसके भी 1 साल बाद का है, बट ही इज SP नाउ इन उत्तर प्रदेश. बट अलग अलग स्टेट्स में अलग अलग तरीके का पोस्टिंग होता है, एंड इट वुड डिसाइड कि वेदर यू आर डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट, हाउ अर्ली यू बिकम डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट. So these are staffing patterns, let's say, staffing and lack of efficient staffing system, जिसको आप human resource management बोलते हैं. There should be basically human resource management का concept ही यही होता है, right person at right position to utilize the potential of people This is what, which we'll talk when we'll take human resource development.
But this problem was raised, this issue was raised by J.V.K. Rao committee way before 1985.
Yes.
It is leading to bureaucratization. So now 25 years, 30 years have gone, nothing has been done.
राइट, क्यों होगा? लोगों को फुर्सत मिलेगा अभी जो चल रहा है इन सब चीज़ों से, तो राइट, देख लो क्या चल रहा है सोसाइटी में, क्या इशू चल रहा है, राइट, तो उससे टाइम मिलेगा तभी तो ये सब होगा. बेहतर है, वो नहीं चाहते कि ये सब सॉल्व हो, राइट. वेजिटेरियन नॉन वेजिटेरियन से ये डिबेट चल रहा है 2018. उसका कल्मिनेशन पॉइंट ये है कि JNU में उसका बंडा फोड़ हो गया. होना चाहते थे वो कहीं और, लेकिन हो गया कहीं और, राइट, बिकॉज और कम्युनिटी ने रजिस्ट नहीं किया, वहाँ लोगों ने रजिस्ट किया. तो बस कहीं भी आप रजिस्ट करोगे, दे आर रेडी टू, राइट. So one apex university in our country, in that students fights that कि what should be cooked, what should not be cooked. इससे नाम नहीं खराब होता है हमारे कंट्री का, राइट.
These are the main thing. Too much freedom, too much freedom will give a threat to the democracy to ourselves.
Yes, let's come to this. Yes, this is what we'll find out. What to debate.
Block development officer and district development officer,
Yes.
they have a special recruitment service.
Yes. BDO is recruited especially through state service, and SDM is also recruited. All functionaries are recruited which are part of the administration, but that is the old structure. We have created 73rd Amendment Act, a new structure. So when you are creating it 73rd Amendment, simply you think that कि जब जिला परिषद होगा तो वहाँ पे स्टाफिंग भी तो होना चाहिए. अलग अलग तरीके के स्टाफ होते हैं ना, क्लार्क होता है, अकाउंटेंट होता है, असिस्टेंट होता है, सुपरवाइज़र होता है, रेट. देर आर, अब ये थोड़ी कि अभिलाष इज द ओनली CEO, उसके नीचे भी कई सारे ऑफिसर होंगे ना, रेट. मीन्स लेट से कि जिला परिषद CEO इज वन IAS ऑफिसर, तो IAS के असिस्टेंट भी तो होंगे, तो वो तो सारे असिस्टेंट वो भी डेपुटेशन पे ही काम कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज दे हैव नॉट बीन स्पेशली रिक्रूटेड टू वर्क फॉर जिला परिषद. दिस वी आर से, राइट. देखो उसका रिक्रूटमेंट का मतलब होता है, देन विल टेक, मान लो ये CEO है और पंचायत सेक्रेटरी है. हम जब ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट, ह्यूमन रिसोर्स प्लान करेंगे इसके लिए, तो वी विल प्लान इन सच ए दैट कि पंचायत सेक्रेटरी टुमारो बिकम CEO. इसको होता है, बोला जाता है पर्सनल सिस्टम, राइट. अभी इसका ठीक नहीं है, ऐसे ही रिटायर हो जाएगा, राइट. इसका हायर पोजीशन क्या है, नॉट डिफाइंड. तो ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट कैसे होगा? ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट होता है हायरार्किकल सिस्टम. यू क्रिएट अ हायरार्की. तो कोई पंचायत सेक्रेटरी क्यों बनना चाहेगा? अगर पंचायत सेक्रेटरी को पता है कि कल मैं BDO भी बन सकता हूँ, तो यंग पीपल विल अप्लाई फॉर दैट. तो ह्यूमन रिसोर्स प्लानिंग शुड बी दैट.
जो BDO और DDO होते हैं वो पंचायत समिति के साथ काम नहीं करते.
नहीं, वो तो अलग से क्रिएट किया गया था उनको 1952 में. जब PRIs नहीं थे, when there was no PRI system, then block development officer was created in 1952 under community development program. Block development officer, district development officer. Other officers are created during British time.
So मतलब ये अलग काम करते हैं BDO.
Yes, they were doing separately. Now it was said that they should work under the control of Panchayati Raj system. But can they work under the control of Panchayati Raj system? It is not possible.
Sir, in
engineering sector, example civil department, electricity department and
ऐसे ही होता है जब ये जिला परिषद होगा तो जिला परिषद का रोल होगा ना पूरा डिस्ट्रिक्ट के पंचायत को कंट्रोल करता है। जब पूरे डिस्ट्रिक्ट के पंचायत को कंट्रोल करता है प्लस आप इसके थ्रू बहुत सारा स्कीम्स इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे। So many schemes you are going to implement through Jila Parishad, na? Plus it is responsible for district development plan. अब expand होता जाएगा, I do not want to go it. It is responsible for district development plan. पूरा district के लिए development plan बनाना है। तो district development plan के लिए district planning committee के भी members होने चाहिए। There is a provision for district planning committee. अब डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्लानिंग कमेटी के मेंबर्स होने चाहिए, कैसे प्लान होगा? राइट, इट डिमांड्स, जिस तरह से डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट का ऑफिस होता है, कलेक्ट्रेट होता है, उसमें बहुत सारे फंक्शनरीज होते हैं, उसी तरह से डिमांड्स की जिला परिषद का भी ऑफिस होगा। रादर ये ज़्यादा पॉपुलर होना चाहिए डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट के ऑफिस से।
Sir, they are only depending on the other departments. They have
Yes, they are more dependent on other departments rather than having their own departments and a culture. Right.
Whatever they want, they simply go to district office, collectorate office.
Yes,
But they have
it is more in consultation with that. This, let's write this. Right. Among all devolutions, financial devolution is considered. Financial devolution is considered most important. Most important. Because without finances, PRIs cannot work effectively. PRIs cannot work effectively. That is, they cannot have self-governance. They cannot have self-governance. Next point, separate point. Separate means we talked functionality, then we started talking 3Fs, and then we are talking next, State Finance Commission. Next separate point, it was expected that State Finance Commission would address problems of finances of local bodies. But even their working is also not satisfactory. Next, accounts and audits. Right. They were left to states to decide. Their accounting and auditing practices. Although CAG has helped, but in its audit reports it has criticized. Lack of proper accounting, maintenance of records, which also affect the role of Finance Commission, State Finance Commission. कभी कभी तो काफ़ी डिमोरलाइजिंग लगता है, बट मीन्स कि स्टेट ऑफ अफेयर्स अगर आपको सब कुछ पता होता है, क्योंकि वी नो दैट, सो इट सिम्स वेरी वेरी पैथेटिक, वेरी डिमोरलाइजिंग. Then what exactly the things are happening? But if you talk to the governments, they will show you so many things they have done. So there is a huge gap between views of the government, what they have done, actual ground realities and reports. कैग का ही रिपोर्ट आ रहा है ना, you can see this. कैग ने ही तो रेड सिग्नल लाया है गुजरात के ऊपर कि it has given so much of subsidies and grants, so it has loan burden of 6 lakh crore, something like. Before India started getting compared with Sri Lankan economy, the CAG gave a red signal in its report on Gujarat. This and 25 lakh crore loans are, let's say that pending, means ki states have 25 lakh crore loans liability of center. This is recent assessment. So ये जो कल्चर है, जब फ्रीबीज कल्चर है, पॉपुलिस्ट कल्चर है, इसलिए कि हम लोग कभी पूछते नहीं. पूछते कब है? जब कोई इकोनॉमी बैंकरप्ट हो जाता है, फिर भी उससे भी कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ेगा, इसलिए कि इंडिया में तो आएगा नहीं, तो नहीं आएगा तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. तो डू यू वांट टू गो बैंकरप्ट, तब पूछोगे, तब तो आप पूछ ही नहीं पाओगे. When the state is bankrupt, broke, who will ask to state? State is not there. उस समय तो स्टेट ही नहीं होता है. सो ये सारा सिस्टम बनाया गया था कि वर्क होगा, चलो 1 साल में नहीं होगा, 2 साल में नहीं होगा, 4 साल में नहीं होगा, वो भी मान लेते हैं. 10 साल में नहीं होगा मान लेते हैं. 25 साल, 25 years, and in 25 years also it is not happening. So then it is, you think it will not happen. It will go in that way only. So what we were supposed to achieve, if, let's say that in 25 years we'll achieve in 20, we'll achieve in 50 years, 75 years, 100 years. Right. Anyhow, let's try next. It has not yet been able to. It has not yet been able to break parochial, feudal, patriarchal culture, and power equation at local level. Still there is first caste dominance. Caste means in bracket higher caste dominance, elite capture, and pradhanpati, that husband becomes de facto pradhanpati. In fact, due to parochial patriarchal culture, elections experience violence, conflict, including murders. In my area, it used to be that Kshatriya used to be Pradhan. That was a tradition. Then Kshatriya authority was challenged by one Brahmin. So that was not liked by Kshatriya. Brahmins are also in quite proportion and Kshatriya is also in proportion. Similarly, the other caste people, lower caste people are also, but lower caste cannot come into picture at all. So the person who stood for Pradhan was beaten very badly at night. Because rural areas में law and order तो होता नहीं है रात को. This is not. And not only he was beaten, in fact, let's say that other, let's say his supporters were also beaten. Only thing is that he did not die. This you should know that. Then that the matter does not stop there. It was a good, huge, let's say that village and good population, very developed village in terms of people, let's say. But there used to be football match, then kabaddi. In kabaddi, it happened Kshatriya and Brahmin, those sides. And the field, means ground is in the locality dominated by Kshatriya. So Brahmins will have to go that side when the sports happen. It's the area where it's very chehal pehal during Durga Puja time. That ki puja is organized, 1 week of celebration is there, sports competitions are held. So we enjoyed a lot. Like there is a positive aspect also, but at the other side it's a negative side. Sorry. And then in one such kabaddi match, Brahmin side was badly beaten. They beat like anything. Again, the only thing is that no one died. This. So it's like, let's say that if you want to challenge anyone, if you want to challenge any Pradhan, then you have to be equally Bahubali. Otherwise you don't have chance. मार देगा आपको, कहीं भी मार देगा. This culture. Things have changed gradually, but not that much. अब तो communalize हो गया है. पहले तो caste वाला concept था. Now it is highly communalized. Right? Unnecessarily. So, and more and more religious presence has come. Right? So, but anyhow, still you will find that things have, let's not change much. That yes, a person who is educated can stand in election. He wants to do something for that area. He should stand in election. Hassle-free election. ऐसा हो नहीं सकता है. At the same time, there are some areas, it cannot be considered that all areas are like that. Yes, there are also areas where good people come, they stand in election. Like, so, my own relative, maternal uncle, son, he became Pradhan. So, but once he became Pradhan, thereafter, he did not want. Right. He said that, no, बहुत पंगा लेना पड़ता है. So he stopped that. So means it does not become also a profitable business, let's say. So there are so many things. You have to create situation, environment, right? Then good people can. Means it is good thing. Elections, participation. It makes your society very enriched. It becomes very, let's say, good society. It results into local developments. Local people come. The local developments will happen, local level jobs will be created, local level chehal pehal will be created. That will reduce burden on the cities, migration will reduce. This people will enjoy their life over there. So much of opportunity. But if these things do not work, then you have only direct जो वो snack वाला जो लूडो होता है, तो उसमें एक ही चीज़ का आप कोशिश करो कि आपको ये आ जाए कि आप सीधे यहाँ आ जाओ. ऐसा कुछ होता होगा, मतलब नहीं स्नैक रेट क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Snakes and ladders. So this is how you'll find that कि this. So आप कोशिश करो कि कहीं पे कुछ ऐसा होता है कि डायरेक्ट यहाँ पे पहुँचता है, isn't it? Right. 99 और उसके पहले वाला आ गया तो फिर से वो शायद यहाँ आ जाएगा या यहाँ आ जाएगा। मतलब लोग लंबे हाथ पांव मारने की कोशिश में है, लॉन्ग टर्म, लाइक डायरेक्ट आप ग्रेजुएट से IAS बन जाओ, बीच में और कुछ नहीं है। सो IAS बन गए तो एवरीथिंग इज गुड, और नहीं तो फिर 99 वाला हिसाब है। So this is how you'll find life then becomes like that. But when you create enrich society layer by layer, so then that does not happen. It's altogether different society. Anyhow, let's write next. Next was corruption. Next is corruption. Next is corruption. Corruption among local level functionaries. Local level functionaries. Neta Babu Lala. Right. Neta Babu Lala means politicians, bureaucrats, and Lala means local level judges. Right. In bracket you can find Gram Pradhan, BDO and MLA. It is difficult to break this nexus. It is difficult to break this nexus. Black hole है ये, सारा पैसा एब्जॉर्ब कर जाते हैं। Right. This इसलिए कि you basically you know less about administration, how functions. So लोकल लेवल पे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कौन देने वाला है? ब्लॉक डेवलपमेंट ऑफिसर। कॉन्ट्रैक्ट जाएगा किसको? प्रधान को। राइट। सो प्रधान किसको कॉन्ट्रैक्ट देगा लोकल लेवल पे? कॉन्ट्रैक्टर कौन होते हैं? जो माफियाज होते हैं, मर्डरर्स होते हैं। पता ही हर एरिया में आपको मिल जाएंगे कुछ लोग। राइट। कॉलेज में जो गुंडा होते थे वो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर बन गए। राइट। तो आप पढ़ लिख के क्या करोगे? IAS बनोगे। वो बिना पढ़ के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बन गया है, कॉन्ट्रैक्टर है। राइट। और जिला का नहीं, पूरे स्टेट का कॉन्ट्रैक्टर। So this is a system, let's say, a system. So what क्या करेगा local bodies? What they will do? They will have to be, नहीं तो उसको जीतने नहीं देगा, उस प्रधान को वो जीतने नहीं देगा। The contractors, local, let's say people, if Pradhan does not support, means Pradhan will win with their support. If Pradhan will win with their support, once you become Pradhan, you have to give support. It's two-way process. Right. So पहले रोड जब बनता था तो ब्रिक को ऐसे रखते थे, मतलब फ्लैट। फ्लैट मीन्स राइट, व्हाट हाउ कैन वी हाउ कैन आई डिजाइन, राइट। अब ब्रिक को ऐसे रखा जाता है, इससे ज़्यादा स्पेस होगा कम ब्रिक लगेगा, इससे ज़्यादा ब्रिक लगेगा। राइट। दिस, और जब तक वो रोड बनता है पता चलेगा कि आधा ब्रिक कोई लेके चला गया। लोग वो अपने अपने घरों में। राइट। उसी तरह जब चारकोल आता है तो चारकोल ऐसे किसिंग लेवल ऑफ चारकोल लगता है, सिर्फ वो ब्रिक को किस करेगा बस। राइट। और बाकी जो चारकोल है, अगर आप एक हेवी व्हीकल चला दो उस पर, किसी दिन भूल मतलब गलती से कोई ट्रक आ गया, क्या डेवलप, व्हाट ए डेवलपमेंट, राइट. And a road is constructed not once, thrice, four times, 5 times, right. एक रोड को कई बार पेपर पे बनाया जाता है, मतलब सोचो कितने बार पैसा खाया जाता है.
Sir, here one thing I am observing, sir. Recent BBC news, sir, in tribal areas, sir. MP, MLA is not resigning, sir, but Sarpanch people are going to be resigning to there. They are not able to give the service. Recently.
गुड पीपल, दैट्स वाई ना ग्रेजुअली इट हैज रिजल्टेड इनटू, आपने ग्रेसम लॉ सोचा होगा, ग्रेसम लॉ एक इकोनॉमी में होता है ना, तो लार्जली गुड पीपल हैव बीन ड्रिवन आउट एंड बैड पीपल हैव बीन डोमिनेटेड. लेकिन गुड जो अच्छे लोग हैं वो धीरे धीरे अपना रास्ता, राइट, दे वांट टू लिव देयर लाइफ. सो इट इज लेड बाय ऑल बैड पीपल. दिस एंड अल्टीमेटली बैड पीपल आर गवर्निंग गुड पीपल.
सर हमारे यहाँ अम्बेडकर नगर में रात को रोड बना, मतलब वो बॉर्डर पे अम्बेडकर नगर राजेंद्र था, और रात ही भर में रोड चोरी हो गया, मतलब उसका जो बना वो सब गायब हो गया. अम्बेडकर नगर वाले उठा ले गए, फिर वो जिनका खेत था वहाँ पर वो अपने मिला लिए, फिर FIR किया गया और उधर से भी किया गया, इधर से भी किया गया, फिर क्या वो पता नहीं चला उसके बाद, और आज तक रोड चोरी ही है.
anyhow let's write next. इसीलिए लोग धीरे धीरे माइग्रेट करने लगे, शहरों में चले गए, राइट. कुछ लोग अगर एब्रॉड जा सकते हैं तो एब्रॉड चले गए. इंडिया से लोगों का छोड़ने का रेट बहुत ही हाई है. एवरी ईयर 5-6 लाख पीपल आर लिविंग दिस कंट्री. इट इज़ हाईएस्ट. वंस इट वाज रेज्ड बाय सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी. सिंस वी हैव स्टिल गुड पॉपुलेशन, सो इट इज़ नॉट ए वरी. बट एवरी ईयर 5-6 पीपल आर क्विटिंग दिस कंट्री. And those 5-6 lakh people are good people. Good people in the sense that they have capability, that's why they are quitting this country. They can live in other country. Yes. So it's like, let's say कि in villages you will not find good people. लोग नहीं रहना चाहते. जिसको भी थोड़ा सा हुआ कुछ इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन बेहतर, एजुकेशन, they live there. They will leave that village. So now village is led by those who are leftovers. This, although things are reversing now, people are going towards village because of urban areas problems. Right. Urban areas में भी तो problems हैं. Right. Anyhow, let's write next part. Right. Let's bureaucracy. Bureaucracy, MLAs and MPs have not played supportive role. Supportive role. Various reports show that they have done more disservice to local bodies in terms of their disempowerment rather than empowerment. Next, even if it was expected that after 73rd, 24th Amendment Acts, local bodies would work as institutions of self-governance and other institutions at district level would work through local bodies would work through local bodies. But this has not happened. This has not happened. Rather, there is parallel existence of local bodies and other functional departments, including district administration. This has resulted into a scenario of first, institutional jungle. Second, lack of coordination among different institutions. Next, neither empowerment of PRIs nor full disempowerment of district administration. Disempowerment of district administration. In fact, states and even union try to work through district administration and create other bureaucratic departments. Like first, District Rural Development Agency. Second, recently Haryana has created Haryana has created a Rural Development Agency. Which is headed by Chief Minister himself. Therefore, that has also resulted into a scenario of first, lack of one head at district level, who can be held responsible. Next, bureaucratic dominance. Next, weak functioning of PRIs. See, on this also question can be asked. Need to understand. Means basically when UPSC, if it diversifies, the way it asks one question related to women empowerment, another related to finances, right? If it asks sectoral questions, there are several sectoral questions. So basically one day we told, I guess in beginning we told that we have Jila Parishad and it has its own hierarchy, and then we have this Gram Panchayat. But at the same time you have district administration, DM and DM, SDM, head, video. Although it is not like this, let's SDM, then you can have circle officer, and I told that about Kanun Go, Lekpal, etc. They said This is administration hierarchy. Then there is development related hierarchy, DM, or we have DDO, and then we have BDO. This डेवलपमेंट डिस्ट्रिक्ट में बुलाने के लिए, डेवलपमेंट रोल के लिए अलग हायरार्की होता है. The BDO is the development related hierarchy, above is the DDO hierarchy. It is a civil administration hierarchy. Civil administration, that is called law and order maintenance. Plus similarly you have a hierarchy like say ki medical, health. The health related hierarchy will have the primary sub health center, right? Then primary health center, then secondary health center. That, and then it is chief, what we call CMO, chief medical officer. अब हमने क्या था रूरल हेल्थ मिशन, आपने सुना होगा कभी, रूरल हेल्थ मिशन. नाउ इट इज नेशनल हेल्थ मिशन, इट इज नोन एज. तो रूरल हेल्थ मिशन ये कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट होता है? तो डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट, नाम है इसका रूरल, बट हाउ इट इज बिन, एंड प्लस चीफ मेडिकल, क्योंकि हेल्थ से रिलेटेड है. द हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट एट डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्लस दिस, देयर रोल इज हार्डली वेरी सेकेंडरी, राइट. एंड इसी में सिर्फ उत्तर प्रदेश में 10,000 करोड़ का स्कैम हुआ. सिर्फ उत्तर प्रदेश में 10,000 करोड़, और 2 चीफ मेडिकल ऑफिसर ने सुसाइड कर लिया. 2 chief medical officer committed suicide. So does it matter? Hardly it matters. Anyhow, but that's not the point. Point is that you have so many institutions, ना, that it creates institutional jungle, right? अब इसी में और भी हम क्रिएट करते रहते हैं. मतलब अभी रिसेंट का डेवलपमेंट है कि हरियाणा हैज क्रिएटेड हरियाणा रूरल डेवलपमेंट एजेंसी. एक नाम है रूरल डेवलपमेंट एजेंसी. नाउ इट इज ए ब्यूरोक्रेटिक स्ट्रक्चर फ्रॉम टॉप टू डाउन टू ब्रिंग रूरल डेवलपमेंट. तो व्हेन यू क्रिएट रूरल डेवलपमेंट एजेंसी, when you create rural development agency, so it is headed by chief minister. So chief minister is not going to talk to Panchayati Raj local bodies. It is a bureaucratic hierarchy. District magistrate. Right. So whatever we do at national level, state level, ultimately it is resulting into expansion of power of district magistrate. Right. So how this is called institutional jungle. So many institutions we create at district level. So who is the head at district level? कुछ भी होगा at district level तो blame शुरू हो जाएगा. You know Japanese encephalitis and death of children in गोरखपुर हॉस्पिटल. बोलने ही नहीं दिया जाएगा आपको सेडिशन चार्ज लग जाएगा. This. So अगर हॉस्पिटल में डेथ्स हो रहे हैं तो फेयर इंक्वायरी नहीं होगा. You will be, let's say, punished like anything if we speak against, or wrong people will be punished. तो कोई डर के मारे बोलेगा नहीं. This situation. Hospitals have death of children every year. Right. आप कभी सर्वे पढ़ो कि how many children die in hospital. चिल्ड्रन जो न्यूली बॉर्न चिल्ड्रन होते हैं, डॉक्टर्स ने बोला कि ये इट इज़ नॉर्मल, इट इज़ ए नॉर्मल डेवलपमेंट. Anyhow, so the question is that there are so many issues, forget what we are saying, that कि then पंचायती इंस्टीट्यूशन वे दब के रह गए एक तरीके से. They are not allowed, given space to grow. Right. So they should be given space to grow, right? This, and their leadership should grow. The leader who is here, he should grow, should play a prominent role. Then it will happen. But when we see that when state governments are, central governments are working through district magistrate, so it will be difficult for Panchayati Raj institution to function. That is called institutional problems. The same problems in urban area. Just same problem in urban area. Right. So, District Rural Development Agency, it was created in 1980. It was created so that कि development will be brought in. अब सोचो ये just 92 के पहले create किया गया. तो District Rural Development Agency नाम ही है कि district में development के लिए, और ये bureaucratic body है. Its ex officio chairperson is district magistrate. When 93rd amendment was brought, so it was said that कि it will be merged in Jila Parishad. It was said that कि District Rural Development Agency should be merged in Jila Parishad. It has not been merged. That's why rural development remains a serious problem. But since it is not a chapter again to teach here in GS paper, syllabus अलग तरीके से designed है. So rural development is a serious problem. This. And you don't have still let's say that you have a bureaucratic mechanism to bring the rural development. We don't have elected mechanism, means let's say popular government to bring rural development, because it was created for, let's say it will help in rural development, but you know it has not been empowered. And इसी को बोलते हैं institutional jungle. That so many institutions are created with overlapping power and structure and functions, and neither of them is fully empowered. Right. तो हमने क्या किया है कि न तो हमने इसको empower fully किया है, न तो इसको fully disempower किया है. Right. Half-hearted. We are in a half-hearted situation. Right. And that is the status of Jila Parishad or PRIs.
Administrative level, DM is the head of the district and Jila Parishad at political level head of the district.
No.
कैसे फिर CM वहाँ से ट्रांसफर करेगा, कोई स्कीम DM को कैसे करेगा, किसी लीडर को करेगा, उसको लीडर जो है.
No. जब ये रूरल डेवलपमेंट एजेंसी होगी तो रूरल डेवलपमेंट एजेंसी इज हेडेड बाय IAS ऑफिसर, सेक्रेटरी, and it is this don't think that कि CM is elected person तो he will transfer to elected person. ऐसे नहीं होता है. Right. It is rural development agency, तो ये होगा district rural development, most probably they will transfer to this, not to they will transfer to this, not to they will transfer to this. Obviously it will be transferred to district magistrate, not Panchayati Raj institution.
Who is the head of district at political level?
There is no any one head. इसलिए तो हेड होना चाहिए ना इसको, ये तो मर्ज होना चाहिए ना ग्रेजुअली. Try to understand. It was expected that कि ये जो functionaries है they will function through district this जिला परिषद. देखो चूंकि पूरा concept नहीं है syllabus में तो we cannot teach you everything separately so that you understand. When we started after independence, we created a bureaucratic structure to bring rural development. How we started community development program, 1952. In that 1952 community development program was to bring development in rural area. It was first scheme after independence. Then to implement community development program, we created district development officer. A development officer means कि only an IAS officer responsible only for development. And then below that we created block development officer, an officer only responsible for development, not law and order and civil administration. This created. Then to further devolve this, we created district rural development agency at district level. There should be a dedicated agency to focus on development. And again its ex officio chairperson is district magistrate. That is the condition before 1992. So before 1992 situation of Panchayati Raj institution was not very good. That's why 93rd amendment is brought to empower them. What do you mean by empowering Panchayati Raj institutions? Not merely creation. Right. आपको मान लीजिए कि बुक दे दिया जाए लक्ष्मीकांत और आपको कुछ पता नहीं है सिलेबस में पढ़ना क्या है, तो क्या लगेगा आपको? सो पंचायती राज इंस्टीट्यूशन क्रिएट करने से नहीं होगा ना. व्हाट विल बी द रोल ऑफ पंचायती राज इंस्टीट्यूशन? When Panchayati Raj institutions are created by 73rd Amendment Act, by the time we have already created so many structure and they are performing their role. So when they are performing their role, they have been created. We want to bring self-governance. Self-governance means we want governance through elected body. तो when you self governance, it means कि सबका पावर आपको शिफ्ट करना पड़ेगा. यहाँ से पावर शिफ्ट करना पड़ेगा, यहाँ से पावर शिफ्ट. You have to shift their powers. You have to shift their powers to elected bodies. Then they will play a bigger role. Right. So when you will shift them, so it means that they should function, all these institutions should function through Jila Parishad, or if they are not functioning, but it should play main role at district level. It should play main role at district level, especially in case of rural areas. Right. This, at least that should have happened, but even that has not happened. Right. Because they have been not disempowered, they are still empowered. Schemes and programs they implement. Right. This, why? Since it's like, let's say that, how we can say, you find PRIs weak. Suppose a person becomes Prime Minister. So he finds that PRIs are weak. तो ही थिंक्स कि एम्पावरमेंट करने में टाइम लगेगा और इनके पास टाइम है नहीं. जब तक आप एम्पावर करोगे तब तक आपको कुछ करना पड़ेगा. तो देन यू गो थ्रू. आप इनको भी एम्पावर करने की कोशिश करते हो साइड बाय साइड, बट अल्टीमेटली यू आर वर्किंग थ्रू ब्यूरोक्रेसी. राइट. अब वो एम्पावर हुआ कि नहीं, तब तक एक दूसरा प्राइम मिनिस्टर आ गया. राइट. यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द साइकिल आल्सो हाउ थिंग्स हैपन. लाइक से कि राजीव गांधी, तो यू नो राजीव गांधी ने क्या किया, ही वांटेड टू एम्पावर PRIs, दैट्स व्हाई कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट बिल्स वर इंट्रोड्यूस्ड 64th 65th, बट ही फाउंड कि दे आर वीक. तो ही स्टार्टेड टॉकिंग विद DM, and he is the first prime minister to hold first all India district magistrate conference. Ultimately, he is working through district magistrate, right? And the government directly started transferring funds to district magistrate. PM talking to DM bypassing CM. The CM did not like. Now, after one tenure, he is gone. Now, new prime minister. The new prime minister may not take much interest in this. He may have some other priorities. This is how it happens. So that is what the conditions, let's say, and that is how the situation remains like institutional jungle type. Let's write next problem. Yes. भगवान भरोसे. जब इंडिया को इंडिपेंडेंस मिल रहा था तो माउंटबेटन ने महात्मा गांधी से पूछा, राइट, इंडिपेंडेंस तो हम दे देंगे लेकिन आप चलाएंगे कैसे देश को, आपके पास तो एक्सपीरियंस है नहीं. यू लीड डोमिनिक लेपियरे फ्रीडम एट मिडनाइट, उसमें लिखा है. तो गांधी ने बोला कि लीव इट टू गॉड. राइट. आज तक हो लीव इट टू गॉड. राइट. गॉड ने भी बहुत सीरियसली ले लिया. सो दैट इज हाउ. तो मेनी अ टाइम वी से इट इज भगवान भरोसे चल रहा है. तो इंटरिम गवर्नमेंट बन गया. फिर when interim government was formed, the communal riots and disturbances broke out, and Nehru and Patel, they were the top two leaders governing the country. They were not able to manage because they did not have experience. So they went and requested Mountbatten. Right. Government you are running, but from behind you run, because we don't have experience. this. Anyhow, so matlab Dominic Leapre writes very frankly the things related to history, whether you believe it or not. अब तो अलग से history को लिखा जा रहा है, right? तो history is being rewritten in a different way. तो कौन सही है कौन गलत है, हम we can have doubt on that. Anyhow, many a time I say history को history की तरह क्यों जानना है, fiction ही समझ लो कि history एक fiction था, बात ही खत्म हो जाएगा. Anyhow, let's write next point. So I guess almost all those points now we have dealt, means major points where a question can be asked related to Panchayati Raj institutions. Right. One last point you can write. The structural aspect of PRIs. The structural aspects of PRI have also been evaluated by ARC second and Punchi Commission. And it has been found that structurally PRIs are not still symmetrical for effective governance. Effective governance. Like Punchi Commission has stated that PRIs have been treated more as self-sufficiency institution, not self-governing institutions. Self-governing institution. That is, the efforts have been made for first to simply address the revenue gaps. Second, they are more like implementing their own. They are more like implementing schemes and programs of union and states rather than planning for themselves and governing. Planning and governing for themselves. No. इसका मतलब क्या है? तो we will tell you कि structural flaw उन्होंने क्या बताया था, जब we will tell separately this point, because a question can be asked in that way also. Means every major criticism that we are saying can be a potential question. Yes. But when you write weaknesses only, don't write in detail. You should write in briefest manner. Problems like functionality problem, 3F problem, State Finance Commission problem, lack of financial devolution problem, Then we have told Pradhanpati problem, patriarchal, etc., nexus, corruption, institutional problem, institutional jungle. You should write in brief, not in details. The details are needed so that कि first कि आपको ये कहीं मिलेगा नहीं GS में, किसी material, etc., you will not get it. So, and they are asking extra mile questions like this. So that's why it will help you in answering those questions. So self-sufficiency, self-governing क्या होता है? तो self-sufficiency, self-governing, right, में difference ये है कि अभी आपको क्या है कि पेरेंट्स आपको पैसा देते हैं कि आपका जो खर्च है वो चल जाए. But it does not empower you. Whether it empowers you that you can generate your own revenue, you can earn tomorrow. Right, this. So what we are trying to do is that we see, oh, 5% they generate, 95% will transfer. But whether they are empowered to take decision themselves, govern themselves, whether they are planning, they are developing, that will demand power, devolution of powers. That would ultimately demand devolution of powers. That will demand trained staff, personnel, all weaknesses, positive you can write as steps. तो they demand, let's say that कि trained staff, they demand dedicated personnel. अपने से तो वो personnel लेके आएंगे नहीं. It is the state which will have to take initiative, train personnel, skilled personnel. Right. This, then giving them powers to generate finances. That aspect. So similarly, gradually, let's say that shifting powers to them and ensuring that other institutions come under them or at least work through them. So this is called empowerment, let's say. So if you do, let's say, empowerment to them, so that is more important than simply transferring funds. Plus, most of the schemes and programs are formulated by union and state governments. So for what they will formulate a scheme and program? क्या करेगा वो? What is left for them? एक जो स्कूल का कुक है वो भी जो है गवर्नमेंट ही अपॉइंट करती है. तो व्हाट इज देयर रोल इन स्कूलिंग? क्या है? मिड डे मील जाके खाना है. व्हाट इज देयर रोल एग्जैक्टली? मतलब एक स्कूल में भी उनका कोई रोल नहीं है. हॉस्पिटल सब सेंटर, उस सब सेंटर में क्या रोल है? व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ पंचायत? सो द सब सेंटर इज रन बाय द गवर्नमेंट. बहुत रोल होगा तो यू कैन गो एंड विजिट, बट सब सेंटर का जो डॉक्टर होगा बोलेगा आपका कोई रोल नहीं है, यू डोंट हैव पावर. आप डिस्टर्ब कर रहे हो. You have to understand that कि local level things, how we should manage local level like this. So there should be, let's say, local level means culture of participation. You have to empower them. जैसे कि मोहल्ला सभा, you'll find that कि मोहल्ला सभा in Delhi there was, but that has not been now in practice. But when Kejriwal ji came first tenure, so it was very in name. But gradually things have changed, let's say. So these are, let's say, some weaknesses we can say, right? Let's write about Gram Sabha. About Gram Sabha. We expect a separate question on Gram Sabha. Right. Let's say Gram Sabha has also been given a constitutional status. Constitutional status under 73rd Amendment Act. It is considered as embodiment of grassroots democracy. Embodiment of grassroots democracy. Gram Sabha is considered as village parliament. Village parliament. and it consists of all the electorates of Gram Sabha. Its powers and functions have been mandated under 243A. Article 243A. Gram Sabha has following powers and functions. First, it is a deliberative body. Similar to Parliament for debate and discussion. Next, the Gram Panchayat Executive is responsible to Gram Sabha. And is made answerable by Gram Sabha. Next, there is also practice of no confidence motion against Gram Panchayat, and Gram Sabha has power to remove Gram Pradhan although the final power lies with state government. Next, Gram Sabha is supposed to hold meetings right, on the occasions of right, 26 January, 1st May, 15 August and 2nd October. Next, Gram Sabha is considered watchdog of grassroots democracy. Right. Grassroots democracy. And therefore, it is expected that Gram Sabha should work as instrument of self-governance, like preparing village development plan, Next, supervising implementation of schemes and programs. Next, upholding executive responsibility. responsibility. Next, working of Gram Sabha. Working of Gram Sabha. Its working has been evaluated. Its working has been evaluated by ARC second, Punchi Commission. ARC second, Punchi Commission. And by other independent reports, including Yojana November 2021. Yojana November 2021. Although there is a lot of developments, 21. Although there is a lot of developments related to Gram Sabha, for its empowerment and effectiveness, but in traditional sense, that is as per 73rd Amendment Act, its functioning has been criticized. Due to following factors. So functioning has been criticized due to following factors. First, it does not hold meetings regularly. In fact, the panchayat building which is constructed does not have sitting capacity for Gram Sabha members. Next, at panchayat level, there is lack of awareness. About role of Gram Sabha and power and functions of Gram Sabha members. Rather, there is elite capture and meetings are largely attended by dominant members. Next, Gram Sabha is also divided. In terms of caste, religion, community. Patriarchy. That still there is lack of a liberal democratic culture. Next, Punchi Commission finds in terms of Thiruvananthapuram district in Kerala. That Gram Sabha meetings were held. People attended it, but for seeking benefits. but for seeking benefits. Benefits. But for seeking benefits. Once they receive the benefits, they got dispersed. That is, there is a lack of culture of discussion and deliberations for common good. There is lack of culture, discussion and deliberation for common good. That is change power. That is, Gram Sabha functionality is also questioned. Gram Sabha functionality is also questioned, and it is weakened due to overall weaknesses of Panchayati Raj institutions. Overall weaknesses of Panchayati Raj institutions. However, since it has become more than 25 years, following important steps have been taken. To empower Gram Sabha. In terms of its functionality and as a watchdog of grassroots democracy. Like first, Ministry of Panchayati Raj institution was created in 2004. Ministry of Panchayati Raj institution was created in 2004 for promotion, monitoring and evaluation of Panchayati Raj institutions. Promotion, monitoring and evaluation of Panchayati Raj institutions. Next, E-Panchayat has E-Gram Sabha and also Gram Sabha Day. E-Gram Sabha has become a portal now. For debate, discussion, connections and preparing village development plan. Next, since 2018 through Ministry of Panchayati Raj and Rural Development, every Gram Sabha is supposed to prepare a village development plan and publish on its portal. According to Yojana November 2021, 95% E-Gram Sabha portals have published their village development plan. Yes. Government has initiated, next point. Government has initiated People's Plan campaign. People's Plan campaign. People's Plan campaign, also known as Sabki Yojana Sabka Vikas. Sabki Yojana Sabka Vikas. Since 2018 and 19, under Gram Panchayat Development Plan, means under Village Development Plan. Village Development Plan. Right. The status report of People's Plan campaign as per December 2020. December 2020 gives following facts. Gives following facts. (78% of Gram Sabha, 78% of Gram Sabha schedule their meeting, of which 59% Gram Sabha held meeting. 59% Gram Sabha held meeting. In 20% case, there was feedback of meeting, means feedback was given. Right. Total, let's say, note, India has over 2.67 lakh panchayats. These are some elusive facts. कुछ भी एक भी याद रहेगा तो काम चलेगा. You cannot remember. मतलब ये से ये पता चलता है कि meetings are held, right, and things are changing. मतलब things are not so, let's say, pathetic. Things are changing also. This. So, because so many initiatives we have taken, and especially nowadays information communication technology, like, so we have over 2.67 lakh. Read Yojana November 2021. I will show here also some facts. It is the best Yojana ever written on Panchayati Raj Institution and most updated Yojana, कि आपका पूरा पंचायती राज ही प्रिपेयर हो जाएगा उससे, right? Especially the new developments which we are not aware because we carry, means generally अगर आप वो नहीं पढ़ोगे तो आपका knowledge बहुत ही old होगा. This, so ये सारे बहुत सारे facts हैं, but let's keep minimal level facts we can use, like say कि even you remember कि over 78%, means 78% Gram Sabhas they held their meeting. So, and we can have outcome of 59%, more than 50%. The scheduling was done in case of 78%, but 59% actual meeting happened. So, it is still, let's say that more than 50% Gram Sabhas are having their meetings. और मीटिंग्स में क्या होता है नहीं होता है उसके बाद का इम्प्रूवमेंट है वो। जैसे पंचायत वेब सीरीज में ही तो मीटिंग होता है, राइट, बट मीटिंग फर्स्ट की मीटिंग शुड बी हेल्ड, मीटिंग इज हेल्ड, देन द क्वेश्चन कम द क्वालिटी ऑफ मीटिंग, the participants, quality of meeting, discussion, deliberations, all these things. So at least now let's say there is an old report, Punchi Commission 2007, but these are the latest reports. So 2007, 2022, huge difference you will find, almost 15 years. तो काफ़ी चेंजेज है, हम सिर्फ ARC सेकेंड और पुंची कमीशन के रिपोर्ट पे रिलाय नहीं कर सकते, इसलिए कि now it is more than 15 years of that. But you don't have any other report, let's say you don't have ARC third or Punchi Commission, let's say that is third. These are very recognized reports if you find. So both aspects we should understand in case of this. So this village panchayat etc. Let's write next point. Right. So far whatever the points we have written points related to Gram Sabha original aspect, Gram Sabha inherent role. Now we are going to write the steps which are related to other things. Means other steps we have taken, those are indirectly empowering Gram Sabha. And those should be not written first. ऑलरेडी ग्राम सभा देर इज ई पंचायत अब आप अगर आप लिखते हो कि डिजिटल इंडिया, तो डिजिटल इंडिया इज एन इनडायरेक्ट स्कीम, बट ई पंचायत इज ए डायरेक्ट स्कीम. ई पंचायत इज पार्ट ऑफ डिजिटल इंडिया. तो वेदर यू राइट ई पंचायत, वेदर यू डायरेक्टली राइट ई ग्राम सभा, तो वेदर यू राइट ई ग्राम सभा यू आर राइटिंग डिजिटल इंडिया. तो डिजिटल इंडिया बिकम्स मोर जेनेरिक, ई ग्राम सभा बिकम्स मोर स्पेसिफिक. So people basically we find that since the knowledge is lacking, so what they do is that they write secondary content, as I was saying, like what the points now you will write, they will basically write as first. This, so that results into, anyhow let's write for next. To empower, next point, to empower Panchayati Raj institution. Panchayati Raj institution, especially Gram Sabha, government has also taken up other steps which are not at first place about empowerment of PRIs, but their implementation would also empower PRIs. Their successful implementation would also empower PRIs. First, Manrega and social audit by Gram Sabha. Manrega and social audit by Gram Sabha. That it is the Gram Sabha which is implementing this scheme, implementing that scheme at local level, and it audits the scheme. It audits the scheme. Hence, it results into participation of people. In the implementation of a scheme. Participation of people in the scheme. This next, within that, its benefits are that Gram Sabha is trained in auditing by CAG. Gram Sabha is trained in auditing by CAG. मतलब कैग के ऑफिशियल्स जो स्टेट लेवल के होते हैं, वो पूरे स्टेट में जो ग्राम सभा लेवल होता है उसमें कुछ जो फंक्शनरीज होते हैं उनको ट्रेनिंग दिया जाता है। तो इससे उनका स्किल बढ़ेगा, अकाउंटिंग स्किल, फाइनेंशियल स्किल। तो जब स्किल बढ़ेगा मनरेगा के लिए तो और लोग और चीज़ों के लिए भी स्किल बढ़ेगा। दिस सो कैग हेड्स it empowers Gram Sabha members in terms of skill knowledge, which can be utilized for other schemes and programs. Schemes and programs. Okay. Next. Okay. Adarsh Gram. In bracket. Adarsh Gram Yojana. Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana. It is a smart village initiative that one MP in 5 years will develop 5 villages. One MP in 5 years would develop 5 villages at a smart village. ये भी क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, पेपर 1 में भी आ सकता है। स्मार्ट विलेज, स्मार्ट सिटी। Geographical aspect, right? Because there is also special planning. Village is also having special planning. This next. Other schemes like Digital India, Rural Mission, Digital India, Rural Mission, Skill India, etc. Next, state-specific initiatives. Specific initiative like Bihar has taken Panchayat Sarkar initiative. Karnataka has Sakala initiative. And Sangram, Maharashtra. These are under Right to Services Act initiative to empower Gram Panchayat. And last is e-Swamit. e-Swamitva scheme. It is initiated by the government of India to prepare land records at Gram Sabha level. Therefore, Gram Sabha as an institution for grassroots democracy, planning and development is gradually getting transformed. It has potential to play very transformative role. Very transformative role. Transformative role. The recent initiatives by union state governments and also during COVID time, PRIs have been empowered by various states like Kerala, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, as their role was demanded. In enforcing social distancing and meeting COVID challenges. Like Odisha gave its Gram Panchayat power of district magistrate for invoking social distancing. However, such changes should be on continuous basis through political leadership, so that in long run Gram Sabha really becomes instrument of Gram Swaraj, instrument of self-governance, idealized by Mahatma Gandhi. So enough for this. You can write one answer if it is asked on Gram Sabha. Right. Let's write next. Structural problems of Panchayati Raj institutions. Structural problems of Panchayati Raj institutions and recommendations of ARC Second and Punchi Commission. Recommendations of ARC Second and Punchi Commission. It was expected that the three-tier structure would truly work as an instrument of self-governance. However, so far, as envisioned by 73rd Amendment Act, has not happened. Like first, the three-tier structure still does not play a dominant role. In rural governance, rural and local self-governance. Next, there is dominance of bureaucratic structures and parastatal bodies. bureaucratic structures and parastatal bodies. Parastatal bodies. You should be aware about the term. Parastatal is non-profit institutions which are supported by the government, like DRDA is a non-profit institution known as parastatal body. Similarly, Haryana Rural Development Agency is a parastatal body. So all those bodies, like you have the district health center society, or if you say in urban areas we have Jal board. The Jal board is a parastatal body. The district development, what you can say, Delhi Development Authority is a parastatal body. मतलब एक टर्म होता है, all those bodies which are created under various act or registration society act, but they are run by the government, they are like government institution, so they are known as parastatal bodies or bureaucratic bodies. So this, therefore they have recommended to bring structural changes in terms of first district rural development agency should be merged in Jilla Parishad. District rural development agency should be merged in Jilla Parishad. Next, Jilla Parishad should be the chairman of district planning committee. Jilla Parishad should be the chairman of district planning committee. He was saying that कि who is the, कोई ऐसा functionary जब है नहीं, but this is how you should know that 73rd amendment has told that कि just see, district planning committee is created under 74th amendment act, but its chairperson is Jilla Parishad chairman. So when a Jilla Parishad chairman means Jilla Parishad chairman become chairman of district planning committee, so that gives age to elected bodies. A district planning committee is the main body to plan at district level, the way you have at national level in past planning commission. Right? Anyhow, let's write next. State Finance Commission should be empowered like Union Finance Commission. Next, separate point, let's write separate point. The three-tier structure should be made flexible. The three-tier structure should be made flexible. That big states should have 3 tiers, small states should have 2 tiers. Small states should have 2-tier structure, big states should have 3-tier structure. In fact, Punchi Commission has told to have 2-tier structure only. As the role of Panchayat Samiti is irrelevant or ineffective. Means you should know कि the structure that we have adopted, still it is not a foolproof structure. There should be structural change also. जो structure है 3-tier structure, so why there should be 3-tier throughout the country? If states are small, so they should have 2-tier. जो 3-tier का middle tier है, उसका कोई role नहीं है. Right? What is the role of this? Unless you define. That is an important recommendation. Let's write next. Gram Sabha should be further divided. Gram Sabha should be further divided into Ward Sabha or Area Sabha. I get confused. Since Gram Sabha is, let's say, since Gram Sabha is a big body, hence if it is divided into different Ward Sabha, then there would be effective participation of people. Effective participation of people. Yes, it is Ward Sabha. The same thing for urban area, it is considered Area Sabha. Okay, there should be Area Sabha in ward areas. Means Area Sabha is equal to Gram Sabha. In urban areas, there is no any counterpart of Gram Sabha as of now. Right. Like say that there is a municipality. A municipality is divided into wards, but it has no Gram Sabha. So for this, there will be Area Sabha. And for Gram Sabha, big Gram Sabha, it should be Ward Sabha. I generally get confused कि वहाँ area है कि यहाँ. This. Anyhow, so these are structural related changes recommended by them. This.
Sir, what is the condition of West Bengal in terms of Panchayati Raj institution?
It has better recruitment. मतलब average से above है. It comes in good category.
So do they have three structural?
No, every will have 3-tier structure as per 73rd Amendment Act. That is mandatory criteria. So after 73rd Amendment Act, whatever the past things they had, they have to discontinue. And they have to adopt as per 73rd Amendment Act. Better performing states will have all the southern states, especially Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala. Kerala is the top in the country. Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, the 3 states. Then you can come Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, they come. Because they have taken also good steps. Especially when Digvijay Singh was Chief Minister, so he became very known in the country for taking steps related to local bodies. So Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, then Odisha also comes in that category. And then let's say that Maharashtra and then West Bengal. They are the top states. Right. So it has less to do with poverty and rich, etc. like that. Right. So they have good culture of steps taken, like because people's participation, Rajasthan has culture of people's participation. Like RTI movement started in, अब और उन्होंने सूचना जन सूचना पोर्टल उन्होंने ही बनाया है. राजस्थान ने ही तो बनाया है ना जन सूचना पोर्टल at state level. Jan सूचना portal is the portal where they will release all information. It is a very unique initiative. So even if they may not be economically very advanced state, but in as far as local bodies participation concerned, so like say कि हमने बोला नहीं बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगा, but पंच परमेश्वर concept है मध्य प्रदेश में. पंच मतलब पंचायत पंच से आता है, तो पंच परमेश्वर एक concept है प्लानिंग के लिए मध्य प्रदेश में, given to local bodies, initiated during शिवराज सिंह चौहान time. So Sakala, Sangram, Panch Parmeshwar. So there are initiatives like say Bihar is now also inspired by Kerala, Karnataka initiatives like this. तो इधे हमने लिखा है वो क्या बोला है, पंचायत सरकार. तो पंचायत सरकार initiative has been taken. Right, so it is also becoming active. So some recent developments also you should know that Panchayat Sarkar is, Odisha government gave power of district magistrate for invoking social distancing to Gram Panchayat during lockdown time. So these are developments. Let's write next. Next we'll talk is e-Panchayat. E-Panchayat. It is an initiative. It is an initiative under National E-Governance Plan 2005. National E-Governance Plan 2005 to empower panchayats, to empower 2.5 lakh panchayats through ICT, Information and Communication Technology. Information and Communication Technology. When Digital India was initiated, then e-Panchayat was brought under Digital India. Digital India. Digital India. It is a project which holds great promise for the rural masses, as it aims to transform the Panchayati Raj institutions into symbols of modernity, transparency and efficiency. The project includes all aspects of Panchayat's functioning. All aspects of Panchayat functioning, including planning, monitoring, implementation, budgeting, accounting, social audit, and delivery of citizen services. Like issue of certificates, licenses, etc. Right. Its objectives are first, automation of internal workflow process of panchayats. Next, improving delivery of services to citizens. Next, capacity building of panchayat representatives. And officials. Next, social audit. Next, transparency, accountability, efficiency, and RTI compliance of panchayat. Next. Improving governance of local self-government. Change paragraph. E-Panchayat incorporates other e-governance initiatives at local level like Swamitva scheme. Next, e-Gram Swaraj, e-financial management system, financial management system. E-Gram Sabha planning, online audit, geotagging of assets. Next, common service center, known as knowledge kiosk, etc. Therefore, e-Panchayat is an initiative to empower Panchayati Raj institutions through a technology-driven solution. However, its weakness is that its weakness is related to weaknesses of first PRIs and second e-governance. That if PRIs are functional, they would also be functional through e-Panchayat. And second, efficiency of technology. That it is operational. But as per target of 2.5 lakh common services center, 2.5 lakh common services center. Only 1.3 lakh common services center have been 3 lakh common services center have been established till 2019. However, since present government, one of the most important characteristics is technology-driven governance and development, including through artificial intelligence. Therefore, it is expected that in coming times, e-Panchayat would be implemented more effectively. For instance, all gram sabhas have e-gram sabha portals. E-gram sabha portal. So this is in brief, you should know that it is also one in small part of e-governance topic. This, so there we also mention e-governance. So since we have taught here, so there we will just mention it. So you should know that we expect a small, means a question if it is asked at all. So it is adequate enough to write an answer.
Sir, e-panchayat.
Yes, yes. Example, like?
E-panchayat.
बहुत सारे no examples like से कि पूरा जितना 3 tier structure है, basically 3 tier structure को उन्होंने try to understand that what is being done. So 3 tier structure, पूरे 3 tier structure, जिला परिषद, पंचायत समिति एंड ग्राम पंचायत. तो पहले तो इनको ICT से लिंक कर दिया. Example, if you want to know e-panchayat, the first thing that it is linked with ICT. जैसे they can have meeting hold करना है तो ऑनलाइन नोटिस मिलेगा, तो इसका भी पोर्टल होगा, जिला परिषद का भी पोर्टल होगा. It will have its own portal. It will have its own portal. This, since पूरे 3 tier में फोकस यहाँ होता है, that's why we talk more on that. This. So we have told that it has component, जैसे कि आपको राइट टू सर्विस एक्ट है, तो हमने बोला संग्राम सकाला, तो उसमें क्या होता है, अब ग्राम पंचायत के लेवल पे एक कॉमन सर्विस सेंटर होता है. कॉमन सर्विस सेंटर पे बहुत सारे जो सर्विसेज होते हैं वो ऑनलाइन डिलीवर किए जाते हैं. जैसे किसी को बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट लेना है, पंचायत में ही देख लो आप, पंचायत वेब सीरीज. सो बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट लेना है तो इट इज़ इक्विप्ड ऑनलाइन. इट कैन गिव, यू कैन अप्लाई ऑनलाइन फॉर बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट, इट विल डिलीवर यू बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट ऑनलाइन. जैसे एक बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट आप डिटेल देंगे, वो आपको एक PDF फाइल डिलीवर कर देंगे. राइट, दिस इज़ वेरी कॉमन. राइट टू सर्विसेज एक्ट, तो राइट टू सर्विस एक्ट पता है आपको. राइट टू सर्विसेज एक्ट में स्टेट क्या करते हैं कि कुछ सर्विसेज टाइम बाउंड में डिलीवर करते हैं, जैसे बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट है, डोमिसाइल सर्टिफिकेट है, आपका लैंड से रिलेटेड कोई सर्टिफिकेट, जैसे स्वामित्व आया है, स्वामित्व स्कीम, स्वामित्व, तो ये लैंड रिकॉर्ड है, ये ग्राम सभा लेवल तक मेंटेन होता है. तो दिस इट विल गिव यू ऑल्सो योर टोटल लैंड, आपका टोटल लैंड कितना है उस एरिया में, सिर्फ लैंड में फील्ड नहीं, योर रेजिडेंशियल एरिया ऑल्सो लैंड, एंड व्हाट एवर लैंड सपोज यू हैव, आपका हाउस जहाँ है लैंड, और उसका वैल्यू भी ये बताएगा, कॉस्ट, कि जो आप लैंड जहाँ पे आपका घर है उसका कितना कॉस्ट है. रेट, तो अगर आप घर बेचना चाहते हैं तो उससे आपको वैल्यूएशन मिलता है. This, the स्वामित्व scheme, again it is being done online. Then call center, Kisan call center, online information. The online information you will get various types of farming related online information. Similarly medicine, health, depends कि आपने कितना empower किया है इसको. Common service center. Plus e-ग्राम सभा, तो ई ग्राम सभा का वेबसाइट है, पोर्टल होता है. ऑनलाइन मीन्स बेसिकली इट इज़ लाइक कि इट इज़ नाउ लेट से दैट कि जिस तरह से कभी कभी क्लासेस यहाँ पे चल रहा है तो आप पोर्टल पे जाते हैं. नाउ डे जैसे कि मटेरियल वगैरह है, इन्फॉर्मेशन वगैरह है, आपको पोर्टल से मिलता है. राइट, उसके पहले क्या था कि वो वी वर डिलीवरिंग यू लेट से थ्रू मैसेज, अभी भी मैसेज होता है, बट बहुत सारी चीज़ें आपको पोर्टल से मिलता है. जैसे प्रीलिम्स टेस्ट हो रहा है, तो प्रीलिम टेस्ट कैसे हो रहा है, एवरीथिंग इज ऑन पोर्टल. राइट, यू गो ऑन दैट पोर्टल, जैसे हम लोगों ने जो पोर्टल बनाया है, एंड यू एक्सेस इट. दिस सिमिलरली ग्राम सभा का भी एक पोर्टल है, एंड पीपल विल हैव टू गो टू दैट पोर्टल एंड सी वेरियस थिंग्स एंड दे कैन गेट एक्सेस. दैट इज e-panchayat. It will bring transparency also, it will bring efficiency also, it will improve quality of service delivery. This, and that is what e-पंचायत. But its most important factor is here कि जैसे नेटवर्क ही दिल्ली में भी कहीं कहीं नेटवर्क नहीं मिलता है, ठीक है. इस क्लासरूम में ही फ़ोन में नेटवर्क नहीं आता है. Since we have several network system, so I try to use one or another. बट मैं अगर यहाँ से वहाँ चला जाऊँगा तो लैपटॉप में नेटवर्क नहीं आएगा, राइट. जब मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है तो वो नहीं आएगा, तो हॉटस्पॉट चलाना पड़ता है. यहाँ पे ये या तो ये चल रहा होता है या लैपटॉप चल रहा होता है या फ़ोन चल रहा होता है. कई बार फ़ोन नहीं चलता है, तो आई यूज़ दिस वन. मतलब मैं शेयर कर रहा हूँ पर्सनल, यू मे नॉट बी. तो दिस इज ए क्लासरूम एनवायरनमेंट ना, ये दिल्ली है. तो लोकल एरिया पे आप गए ग्राम सभा के वेबसाइट पर और फिर तब तक सोचोगे पास ही में थे, इट इज जस्ट नियर बाय ग्राम सभा, तो यू विल गो देयर, राइट. वॉकिंग भी हो जाएगा, बातचीत भी हो जाएगा. So, even if it is online, people will not, right, use it because it's not that high end, let's say, right, operational this. So that is what the problem is main of its operationalization, right, which demands high end technology. कई जगह optical fiber network नहीं है, right. Like the place I belong in that area, there is no optical fiber network. अभी तो दिल्ली में नहीं था ऑप्टिकल फाइबर नेटवर्क, अब आया है, राइट. ओल्ड राजेंद्र नगर में प्रॉब्लम होता है, अभी भी प्रॉब्लम होता है वहाँ पर. तो ऑप्टिकल फाइबर नेटवर्क जब आता है तो उसका हाई स्पीड होता है, जैसे न्यू राजेंद्र नगर में आया है, ओल्ड राजेंद्र नगर में नहीं आया है, राइट. सो देन यू विल फाइंड दैट कि प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ नेटवर्किंग. मेन ई गवर्नेंस का चैलेंज है फर्स्ट की नेटवर्किंग स्पीड, right. If it is not, so it affects so many things, right. Anyhow, so these are some positive, let's say, e-panchayat related developments we can talk. Then we'll take next is called State Finance Commission. State Finance Commission. Let's try that. The way Union Finance Commission means, when we talk State Finance Commission, so we start referring Finance Commission as Union Finance Commission, just to differentiate. So the way Union Finance Commission has played balancing wheel of fiscal federalism, balancing wheel of fiscal federalism. Similarly, it was expected that State Finance Commission would also work as balancing wheel of sub-federalism at a state level between state and local bodies. And hence it was given role and it was given power and functions similar to Union Finance Commission. Although in last 25 years, states have regularly constituted state finance commissions, but its working has not been as healthy as that of Union Finance Commission. Just a minute. Yes, that's right. Basics. First, it is also a constitutional body created under both 73rd and 74th Amendment Acts. 73rd and 74th Amendment Acts, that it should be constituted by Governor of the state. On the advice of the government. And it would recommend for financial devolution. While appointing, the government should take into consideration that it has right composition. The way it is maintained, or the way it has been maintained in case of Union Finance Commission. This. So basics में ये है कि it is a constitutional body, but composition has not been defined. You should know that the Finance Act composition is defined by Parliament. So the Finance Commission Act 1951 was passed, and in that composition has been defined. One person having public affair experience, 2 judges, having one judge, and one should have, as we told in case of Finance Commission, 5 members. So one judge, another economics, another finance, another financial administration. So, but composition of a State Finance Commission has not been defined. That is one its weakness. It was expected that while appointing, the state governments would take into consideration the composition, that it has right composition. That's power and functions. that first its term of reference. Its term of reference.
State legislature.
Yes.
State legislature decide in terms of state finance.
हाँ yes, जब यूनियन का पार्लियामेंट करेगा तो स्टेट का स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर विल डिसाइड. बट आई वाज रेफरिंग टू यूनियन फाइनेंस कमीशन. Means के see Union 2 Article 280 has also not given details of composition. That composition has been decided through a Finance Commission Act. This you should understand. The composition is determined by the legislature, right? So for Finance Commission it has been decided. But State Finance Commission again, the way for Union Finance Commission composition is not decided in the article, then similarly State Finance Commission also composition has not been. It was expected that when a state will bring State Finance Commission Act, in that it would define the composition. This you should know that. So that we can consider in terms of, let's say, they have brought the act, but the acts have not, let's say, properly, there is no standardization. It is in terms of किसी केस में largely it is one member person. Largely they appoint one person, and in one case we say Odisha, let's say, so Naveen Patnaik himself became State Finance Commission. Chief Minister himself became State Finance Commission. Right. Unique case. Right. Let's write this. So its term of references are related to devolution of financial powers in terms of financial powers in terms of first shares from the state tax revenue, grant in aid, next other such measures for financial empowerment of local bodies. Financial empowerment of local bodies. Local bodies. Like Union Finance Commission, it was also expected that Union Finance Commission, it was also expected. State Finance Commission would prepare a formula for sharing of finances between urban local bodies and Panchayati Raj institutions. Urban local bodies and Panchayati Raj institutions for horizontal sharing of finances. Horizontal sharing of finances. Working of finance commissions. Since it has become more than 25 years, therefore states have constituted constituted. Even constituted even 5 times most of the states have created 4th time is 4 times rather. Most of the states have created 4 times. As per the assessment of functioning of state finance commissions, assessment of functioning of state finance commission, by ARC second, Punchi commission, and the most recent report by National Institute of Public Finance, and Policy 2018. Some positive facts are related to first, 13 states have created 5 times. It's 5 times. 13 states have created 5 times. 5 states have created 4 times. 4 times. 4 states are still at 3rd stage. 4 states are still at 3rd stage, like Chhattisgarh, Goa, Gujarat and Manipur. Next, some states have good practices. In terms of sharing of tax revenues, in which they have also included GST transfers, and transfers from central government through Finance Commission. Like Karnataka had 48% share of its net owned revenue, which also included GST compensation. Maharashtra had 40% share of its tax and non-tax revenue. Tax and non-tax revenue. Let's say states which share more than 10%, more than 10% are Uttar Pradesh, Assam, Kerala, Uttarakhand. Yes. Therefore, it shows to some extent good functioning of State Finance Commission. Means कुछ अच्छे facts होना चाहिए. Are you able to understand what we are saying? जैसे कि सेंट्रल फाइनेंस कमीशन ट्रांसफ़र करता है 42%, 41%. सो यूनियन के लिए तो क्लियर है, बट अभी स्टेट्स के लिए अलग अलग प्रैक्टिस है विच विल टॉक इन वीकनेसेस. यूनियन के लिए तो एक ही यूनियन फाइनेंस कमीशन है. सो सिंस यूनियन हैज वन फाइनेंस कमीशन, इट हैज ओवर ए पीरियड ऑफ टाइम स्टैंडर्डाइज itself. But now you have as many states, that many number of state finance commission, and they would have different practices. So कौन state finance commission कितना recommend करता है, how much recommends, it depends. Let's say that. So if you take, let's say कि Karnataka has 48%, that is highest. This Karnataka GST, let's say that. Including it has GST share also. There are some states which are 10% plus, like so we have told the name Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Kerala, Tamil Nadu. I guess they will come in that category. This, it means the share is going from state to local body. It can be 15% also, it is 40% also, 48% also. The 48% can be considered highest. So these things can be considered some good. Like 13 states have constituted their finance commission 5 times. No need to know which are those states, but this is how. But 13 states have constituted. Some we have told that the states which have not constituted, so that facts I have told. So these states are simply to read out. If I read out: Assam, Bihar, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Punjab, Rajasthan, Sikkim, Tamil Nadu, and Uttar Pradesh. This. So these are some states which have created 5 times their state finance commission. It means that they have created 4 times. So 13 states, so still we can say that yes, almost 50% you can say that, right? So at least regular constitution of state finance commission is there. But then what are the problems? So let's write this problems.
So you stated that the Panchayati Raj institutions in Kerala, so they are considered as role model. So but states transfer only 10%.
No, it transferred 20%. I told 10% more. Kerala transferred 20%.
So consider 20%.
Kerala has 20%, Uttar Pradesh has 15%. Instead of telling each state, I just told 10% or more.
So then what are the reasons that Kerala is considered as a role model, so they're growing faster in Panchayati?
There are so many factors. Right. One factor will not decide. First factor is that Kerala has devolved powers more than Karnataka. First you should know that. Kerala is the state which has devolved powers to local bodies more than Karnataka. This. Then Kerala has developed a social capital better than Karnataka. Like say Kudumbushri has partnered with Panchayati Raj institutions. This. Then for the Panchayati Raj institutions have been given powers. Powers like they are responsible for local level development. वहाँ पे डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट को इतना पावर नहीं होता है. You should know that. District magistrate would have to work through जिला परिषद. वो कोई भी मीटिंग नहीं कर सकता है बिना उसके इनवाइट के. Rather it is the district magistrate who goes and attend the meeting of जिला परिषद. लोकल बॉडीज आर हाईली एम्पावर्ड. जो भी डेवलपमेंट्स फंड्स होता है वो लोकल बॉडीज को जाता है. एंड लोकल बॉडीज आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर प्रोजेक्ट डेवलपमेंट, प्रोजेक्ट गिविंग, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एटसेट्रास. एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को नहीं दिया जाता है पावर. सो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन डिसलाइक. केरला में कोई नहीं चाहता बनना डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट. राइट, वी हैव वन स्टूडेंट अनुपम मिश्रा. So he is having Kerala cadres. Not his name is not here that time. So this Varghese Tom from Kerala. You may have heard his name in Kerala, right? He is in Kerala. He belongs to Kerala. Since he belongs to Kerala, so he would like to work. But Anupam Mishra, who qualified 1 year earlier than Abhilash, they are the batchmates. So he got that Kerala cadre. His wife has Rajasthan cadre. Right. So they have been working that they should get a third cadre, but they are not getting it. So still he is in Kerala, she is in Rajasthan. That's different thing. So he told that he wants to sit from Kerala. Look at the local body, they don't allow too much of politics. They don't allow us to work. Right. So that is what we will find, that it is empowerment. It's not one key transfer. As we told that they have given entertainment tax and what we can say property tax. Means under state also what is collected at state level, that power is also given to local bodies. This. So plus its culture, let's say that culture also. Basically southern states are very rich in natural resources. You'll find forestry and let's see other things. Means it's beauty that they have got in terms of richness of culture, in terms of their temperature. The temperature level is not very extreme like here. Right. Yesterday it broke 72 years of record. Right. This how much was the temperature? 42.5.
Same temperature is reaching in my hometown, but this much of intensity will not come.
Right. So you have to see many things, like not only related to how much power. It's like how to say. Suppose people are already active and their role is very different. In that you give some power, it becomes 1 + 2 11. और यहाँ पे तो 1 है ही नहीं, आपने 1 ही दिया है, तो 1 is 1. Right. Plus patriarchal culture, तो ये 0 भी हो जाएगा. Right. So that way we have to see, not just because of this. Like Kerala में जब flood आता है तो local bodies and Kudumbashree they were working. And Panchayati Raj institutions have been playing big role in case of COVID challenges, social distancing, maintaining local area level participation. It is a role model in COVID time also. Right. This. So that way, let's say it is considered. Let's write next. Weaknesses and criticisms. Weaknesses and criticisms. Right. First, appointment related. That state finance commissions are not appointed on time. Not appointed on time. If they are appointed on time, then recommendations are not on time. After recommendations, implementations are also not done on time. Like according to that report, according to the report, means 2018 that we have written. The fourth and fifth generation State Finance Commission, fourth and fifth generation State Finance Commission have taken more than 33 months in their recommendation. 33 months in their recommendation. In their recommendation. In one such case in Maharashtra, Fourth Finance Commission took 60 months. क्या जरूरत है? 1 साल के बाद तो सरकार ही चले जाएगी. 60 months. Next. 60s. 60. Sorry. 18 states average time taken by the governments. 18 states average time taken by the governments in case of action taken report, it is 11 months. 11 months. मतलब 33 months तो टाइम लगता है रिपोर्ट देने में, 11 months टाइम लगता है एक्सेप्ट करने में एक्शन टेकन रिपोर्ट. तो फिर इम्प्लीमेंट कब होगा? जब सरकार बदल जाएगी. Next. Problems related to capacity of finance commissions. Problems related to capacity of finance commission. Right, that right, they have lack of right, office space, technical staff, and basic facilities like computers, office furniture, etc. Next. Since proper records are not maintained at the state level, proper records are not maintained at a state level, proper records are not maintained at the state level. Said finance commissions suffer due to lack of data availability. And they also give poor quality of reports. Next, lack of standardized uniform pattern about the functioning of state finance commissions across states in terms of first, sharing of finances between urban local bodies and rural local bodies. Sharing of finances between, like in some cases it is 60-40, 60-40, some cases 70-30, 70-30, 75-25. That major share goes to rural bodies, major share goes to PRIs. बट इसका कोई एक पैटर्न नहीं है, किसी स्टेट का 50-50 भी है, किसी का 40-60 है, 60-40 है, किसी का 70-30 है, किसी का 75-25. नेक्स्ट, जैसे कि फार्मूला होता है इनकम, डिस्टेंस, पॉपुलेशन, एरिया फॉर फाइनेंस कमीशन, इनका भी फार्मूला होता है, बट उस फार्मूला में जो टोटल शेयर होता है दोनों का, सो शेयर ऑफ PRIs इट विल बी, लेट्स से दैट कि 60% सपोज, एंड शेयर ऑफ अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज 40%. दिस, सो उस the share that you decide between rural and urban, so rural areas are getting more share, but in one state it can be 60-40, in another state it can be 70-30, like this. Next point within this, next point, at a state level, still it is not a clear pattern that whether a state should share revenues related to first tax and non-tax. Within that, first tax and non-tax, second transfer from center, and next GST compensation. Next, most of the states share only their revenue, not the transfers from center. और उनका रेवेन्यू ऐसे ही कम होता है तो टोटल शेयर और कम हो जाएगा. नेक्स्ट, परसेंटेज ट्रांसफर इज ऑल्सो not healthy. Like even some states have transfers less than 5%. Like West Bengal 2.5%. West Bengal 2.5%, Goa 2%, Odisha 3%, Punjab 4%, 4%. Right. Enough to know that, isn't it? This. Change paragraph. Our next one more. The members of finance commissions. The members of finance commissions are also bureaucratic. Or even in one case it was found Chief Minister himself became finance commission. Therefore, on the one hand, local bodies suffer from lack of finances, and on the other, the role of finance commission State Finance Commission, except some states, have not been very instrumental that one can say that they have emerged as balancing wheel of fiscal federalism. They have emerged as balancing wheel of fiscal federalism. Fiscal federalism. And therefore it is their weakness which has resulted into Union Finance Commission stepping in. Union Finance Commission stepping in. That's the role of Union Finance Commission in strengthening finances of local bodies, a subheading. The role of Union Finance Commission in strengthening finances of local bodies. Local bodies. Finances of local bodies. First, 10th Finance Commission onwards. 10th Finance Commission onwards. There are recommendations for local bodies as local grants, which has gradually increased. Like 15th Finance Commission has recommended more than 4 lakh crore for local bodies. Next, the 13th Finance Commission also devised formula. The 13th Finance Commission also devised formula for horizontal sharing of funds between local bodies. Horizontal sharing of funds between local bodies. Which parameters consist of income distance, population, area, right, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe population, also performance, also fiscal performance. Next, 15th Finance Commission has also linked. 15th Finance Commission has also linked transfer of funds with performance of local bodies. Performance of local bodies, also known as conditional transfer. Also known as conditional transfer. Conditional transfer. Next, how to improve State Finance Commission. How to improve State Finance Commission. Functioning. Both Punchi Commission and ARC second. Both Punchi Commission and ARC second have recommended like first, the term of reference should be clearly defined. The term of reference should be clearly defined. Next, the composition and qualification should also be clearly stated. The composition and qualifications should also be clearly stated. Next, there should be mandatory action taken report. There should be mandatory action taken report. Action taken report. Next, the State Finance Commission should submit their reports. The State Finance Commission should submit their reports. Submit their reports in such a fashion that when Union Finance Commission is constituted, when Union Finance Commission is constituted, their reports are available. Their reports are available to Union Finance Commission. Available to Union Finance Commission, so that it can take into consideration. It can take into consideration their reports. And on the basis of fiscal gap, it can give recommendations to supplement the finances of local bodies. To supplement the finances of local bodies. Local bodies. Change the paragraph. In general, states should focus on, means they are not the recommendations of ARC Second Munshi Commission. In general, this states should focus on timeliness of constitution of commission, recommendation, and action taken report. Action taken report. They should also ensure that they have adequate infrastructure and expert members. As there is a very high stake, there is a high stake on a State Finance Commission, functioning of a State Finance Commission. Functioning of a State Finance Commission. Due to three-tier structure of fiscal federal polity in India. Fiscal federal polity in India. And also due to a new fiscal environment created. Also due to a new fiscal environment created under GST regime. GST regime. So we'll summarize, we finish all 73rd Amendment Act. So just a summary, let's see. Therefore, 73rd Amendment Act gives so far a mixed result of its operationalization. There is still huge scope. There is still huge scope for effective implementation of various provisions of 73rd Amendment Act to envision Panchayati Raj institutions as the real instruments of self-governance. They lack institutional capacity They lack institutional capacity to govern themselves. Govern themselves. Govern themselves, and hence the reforms and steps taken, including Panchayat Capacity Building Scheme, and application of ICT through e-Panchayat should be implemented effectively. That is what we can say.